I believe that the only way that we're going to create some sort of peace among our fellow human beings here on this planet is when we can begin to understand and recognize that there is no one right way of doing anything, that there is no one way is better than the other, and that we all came here for an extremely different fucking experience. Of course, this is going to be difficult because people are going to have to open their minds and expand their consciousness to understand that we all live in our own interpersonal realities and that we all come here for very different reasons to learn very different things for our soul's evolution. There are some people that come here to experience being poor. There are people that come here to experience death and famine. There are people that come here to experience luxury and deep, profound love. Not everybody comes here to experience that. Everybody's soul is looking to grow and evolve in a different way. There's no one right way. I left the spiritual community years ago because I couldn't get on board at everybody pointing fingers thinking that they fucking knew best. You guys, I'm an astrologer. I love astrology. I love human design. I love numerology. I do typologies. And there's an actual science behind this. And when I look at people's charts, it is so abundantly clear how unique our journeys are, and they're intended to be that way. And I really believe that the only way that we're going to be able to formulate some type of peace on this planet between and amongst each other is if we can truly begin to understand that your way is not better than my way, that their way is not better than our way, that there is no one all-governing way, that there are actually not a whole lot of rules, and that we all came here to learn and discover essentially who we are and how we fit together. And in order to do that, we need just to understand that I don't need to like what you like. I don't need to think the way you think. You don't need to like what I like, and you don't need to think the way that I think. But we do need to respect each other, and we do need to be kind to each other. We don't have to associate with each other. Maybe it just means that you're not my people and I'm not yours. That doesn't mean I'm going to walk around in the streets being mean for no reason. It doesn't mean that I'm going to scream when you're not in agreement with my beliefs. It doesn't mean that I'm going to name call. It just means I'm not going to associate with you, because the people who I am meant to associate with will come to me, and I want to use my energy for that. But you guys, so many of us do not realize that every time we have this stronghold on a belief, this over-identification, this over-attachment to a belief, that's your ego. That is your identity. And that is not all that you are. But so many people live their lives based on their ego's identity. Baby, life is ever changing. It is ever evolving, ever growing. And sometimes we have outdated beliefs. Sometimes we need to not grip so tight to our beliefs. Because that's the ego, because the ego wants to be separate. It wants to be different than you and me. I need to be above you, and you need to be below me. I need to be better than you, and you need to be not so good. That's the ego. I am right. My way is right. That's the ego. And guess what? You're allowed to believe your beliefs, but you're not allowed to force them upon other people. You're not allowed to be rude or hurtful or harmful to other people because they don't believe your beliefs. You know, I don't want to use this example, but I'm going to. I'll do two, just to make it fair. When you all see those videos of young liberals screaming, barking, doing all sorts of weird shit because they're dysregulated, because their belief that they have made as a part of their identity is now being attacked. It is now being questioned, which feels like death to the whole system. And most of these people are severely dysregulated, come from very dysfunctional homes, and have zero emotional intelligence. And so they can't actually control what's happening in their body because they haven't learned that skill yet. They haven't developed that skill. And because their ego is so attached to a belief system that they've made it a part of their identity. But see, you guys, the thing is you are not your ego. You are not your identity. I am not Elle. I am Elle for the time being, yes. But I am not Elle. I am so much bigger, more grand than that. And Elle is subject to change. Elle likes to move with the ever-flowing cycles of life. You see, change is the only constant. And if you're not changing, you're not growing, you're not evolving, you're not questioning your own beliefs, you're not questioning your own identity, then you're not evolving. And I'm going to tell you right now, life is going to keep on moving. It's going to keep on going. It's no different than the conservatives who think that they're holier than thou. Yeah, a lot of them come from good, oftentimes, family units where there's a mother and a father. Their emotions are a little more regulated. Their nervous systems are a little bit more regulated. They're often more intelligent because they're taught to question things. Hey, I think we should all question things, including ourselves, especially ourselves. Always wonder, where does this belief come from? Where does this identity come from? But don't get me wrong. Conservatives are no better than liberals. They just think that they are. And that too is the ego. You see, in North America, I'm thinking, God, I'm not American. Even that was my ego. In America, everything is about separation. Black, white, rich, poor, left, right, liberal, conservative, north, south. And it's this tricky little game that the government plays. It's this tricky little game that the people who use you as intelligent psyops, who use you as human experiments. And sure, you can call me crazy, but what about the $4 billion a year spent on sales psychology? Spent on human psychology that they utilize to sell you, control you, all public record. What do you think politics are? It's a big sales campaign. What do you think rich versus poor is? It's a sales campaign. Black versus white, it's a sales campaign. It's all a way to keep you separate from yourself. Fuck, even the feminism. Keeping men and women apart, because if men and women came together, the ants would rise. I'm trying to remember how this video started, how we ended up here. How did we get here today? Chilly Thursday afternoon chats. That's what this is. I planned to record a couple other videos, and I decided I wasn't feeling a video, and then I decided to push play, and here we are, and I don't know how we got here. Oh yeah. No, I thought I had it. Over-identification with the identity. Maybe that's all that was needing to be said. Maybe I don't need to force anymore. Yes, creating peace on earth by understanding that we all came here for a different journey. And we did. We did. Some of us came here to be vegan, to understand that lifestyle. Some of us came here to be carnivore, to come here and understand this lifestyle. And some of us came here to flip-flop between the two, to understand. Because you see, for way too long, we have been told how to think, what to think, where to go, what to do, and nobody questions a damn thing. And there's a lot of people put on this planet that are taught to question things. And I think that's the most healthy thing we can all do. Because for a very, very, very long time, you have been spoon-fed historical lies, scientific lies, spiritual lies, lies about who you are, what you're capable of. You've just been spoon-fed lies your whole life. And I think the most important thing we can do is learn to get in touch with our own inner voice, get in touch with who we are as individuals, begin to create the life that we want, and then learn how to respect other people's choices and how they want to do that. See, I'm not someone who leans one way or the other. I'm just somebody who wants to find my people, create a life with these people, do some good in the world, be my most authentic self, and just live life. But there's so many people in the world that are so attached to their identity. They're so attached to everybody needing to conform and be the same. They're so attached to the way things need to look and be, and there's so much greed. Oh, God, the greed. Everything's about money. Everything's about trying to sell you and then keep you separate so that we can sell even harder. So many people are so unaware of the truth of who they are. So many people are unaware of their motives. So many people are unaware of why they do what it is they do. This is the mission that I've been on for the last almost decade, is getting to the bottom of who I am. And I've really wanted to share with everybody my formula, what I used for that. Not because I think my way is the right way, not for any other reason other than I think I'm cool. I think I'm intelligent. I think that if you knew my history, you would know how much I've changed and evolved in my life, and that I have words of wisdom, that I have something to teach, that I have something that's worth value. It's the only reason. I don't need you to believe it. I don't need you to do it. But if you feel resonant and you feel called to want to explore, then why not? And I've put this off for a really long time, sharing deeper my methodology, sharing deeper what it is that I have done to overcome and grow and evolve and get to know myself in my own life, because I was so afraid of being attacked, being told I was wrong. Why? Because there's so many fucking egos out there that think they know, when the truth is nobody's right and nobody's wrong. And the sooner that we can really understand that, the sooner that we can really begin to see that, and see that the only reason we think that we're right or superior to others is because we have an ego that is unchecked, runs the show, and that you have not even experienced your soul self yet, that you have not even experienced the totality of who you are, that you are living only one half of who you are, completely victim to a program. Because it's our egos that get programmed. It's our egos that get spoon-fed all of this bullshit. And then it's our egos that run the show. And so I'd really love to share with people how to begin questioning that. And I feel like I'm finally in a place of confidence in my own life to begin doing that. Just a matter of doing it, sitting down and making the time, coming up with something that feels comprehensible, easy to understand, but is also very true to me. And going all in and not giving a fuck what anybody thinks. That's the best part. That's the part of my life that I'm finally in. I mean, look at this video. I'm at 13 minutes, almost 14 minutes. I have no idea what the fuck I'm really talking about. I'm just talking because it feels good to talk, and I love to talk. I have things to share. And really, a lot of this is just me getting my juices ready and prepped so that I can prepare for when it is that I finally, after a decade of learning and understanding myself and psychology, how the human brain and body functions, and then putting my own methodologies to it, because it's worked for me and it's worked for many other people in and around my life. It's worked for clients that I have had in the past. I don't take clients anymore, but yeah. Anyway, this is getting really tangent-y, and I'm going to post this because, well, I haven't posted a video in a while. And maybe one day when I'm a big YouTuber, because that's going to happen. It's been a dream of mine since I was like 16. That's going to happen. And when it does, people will view this video and they'll go, what the fuck was she talking about? Anyway, toodaloo. That's all I got for you.